Welcome to the Money Momentum Voice channel. Today you'll learn 10 money rules the rich use to build lasting wealth. Picture a small snowball perched on a long hill. Give it a gentle push. As it rolls, it gathers more snow, growing larger, moving faster, gaining momentum. Soon, that tiny start becomes an avalanche of financial security. The rich nudge it daily. You've got this. Let's start your roll today. Let's begin with a story. Consider a woman named Anna. On the surface, she was just like millions of others, working hard, trying to get by. But beneath the surface, a quiet panic was setting in. When we first met her, she was buried in debt and living paycheck to paycheck, a cycle that felt impossible to break. Every ding of a new email notification, every letter in the mail, brought a fresh wave of anxiety. Was it another overdue bill? Another reminder of what she owed? She felt like she was treading water in a deep, dark ocean, with the shoreline getting further and further away. She was drowning in financial stress, and it was affecting every part of her life. Then, a lifeline appeared. It wasn't a complex investment strategy or a get-rich-quick scheme. It was simple, almost deceptively so. Anna learned just one rule, the foundational principle that would change everything. The rule was to spend less than she earned. At first, it felt impossible. How could she spend less when it felt like there was never enough to begin with? But she committed. She sat down, took a deep breath, and for the first time, truly looked at where her money was going. It was tough. She had to confront her habits head-on. She cut the daily $5 latte, a small ritual that felt like her only luxury. She started packing her lunch instead of buying it. These weren't huge, dramatic changes. They were small, consistent sacrifices. That alone freed up $10 a week. $10. It didn't seem like much, but it was a start. It was something she could control. She opened a separate account, a digital piggy bank, and religiously moved that money aside. Week after week, the small amount grew. After a year of this quiet discipline, she had over $500 saved. For the first time in years, Anna had an emergency fund. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a buffer. It was the knowledge that a flat tire wouldn't automatically mean a new credit card bill. That little win was a seismic shift. It gave her hope. It was proof that change was possible. More than just money, she felt a spark of control. The feeling of drowning began to subside, replaced by the feeling of her feet touching solid ground. She wasn't just a victim of her finances anymore. She was the one in charge. This newfound courage prepared her to learn and apply another rule. This brings us to the cornerstone of all financial well-being. The very first rule: you must spend less than you earn. There is no way around this. It's the law of financial gravity. You can try to ignore it, but it will always pull you back down. Wealth isn't built by magic. It's built on this single, non-negotiable truth. The financially successful are intentional. They act as the captain of their financial ship, steering it with purpose. They tell their money where to go, instead of waking up at the end of the month and wondering where it all went. So, if this first rule is so fundamental, why do so many of us ignore it? The answer is a powerful force: instant gratification. In a world of one-click checkouts and tap-to-pay, it's incredibly easy to spend money we don't technically have, buying with a credit card today and pushing the consequences off until tomorrow. We see curated lives on social media, creating a subtle pressure to keep up. Before you know it, your lifestyle costs more than your paycheck can support. This is often fueled by lifestyle inflation, the tendency to increase spending as income grows. You get a raise, and suddenly, your rent car and dining habits upgrade too, leaving you in the exact same financial position as before, just with bigger bills. But here's the most important thing to understand. If this sounds familiar, this isn't a character flaw. It's a lack of a simple plan. Willpower alone is no match for the constant temptation to spend. What you need is a system, not just more discipline. So let's build that plan. Step 1. Track every penny for 1 month, on paper or in an app. The goal is awareness, not judgment. At the end of the month, you'll have a clear map of where your money is going. Then find one area to cut. Just one. Maybe it's the daily $5 coffee or a streaming service you forgot you had. A small, sustainable change is the key to building momentum. That single change is how you begin to create a gap between what you earn and spend, no matter how small. This gap is the only number that truly matters. Earn $3,000 and spend $2,150, you're winning. Earn $10,000 and spend $10,050, you're losing, despite the high income. The numbers on your paycheck don't determine success, the gap does. This is the fundamental mindset shift. It really is that simple. This isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. The second rule is to build an emergency fund. Life happens, car repairs, broken water heaters, medical bills. A cash buffer turns crisis into inconvenience without debt. First, save a $1,000 starter fund as fast as you can. Sell items, pick up hours, side gigs, then build 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a separate savings account. Use it only for true emergencies, job loss, medical issues, urgent home repairs. It protects your progress and lets you sleep at night. The third rule is to attack your high-interest debt with a vengeance. This isn't just about managing money, it's about reclaiming your life. High-interest debt is a silent thief, stealing your income, your peace of mind, and your future. It's time to declare war. We're talking about credit cards with dizzying APRs, predatory payday loans that trap you in a cycle, and personal loans that feel like a ball and chain. Each one is a dragon breathing fire in the form of compound interest, scorching your budget month after month. A simple $500 purchase can quickly morph into a $1,000 monster if you're not careful. Trying to pay off this kind of debt with minimum payments is a losing game. It's exactly like trying to run up an escalator that's going down. You put in all this effort, you're sweating, you're exhausted, but you look down and you've barely moved. Or worse, you've actually lost ground. It's designed to keep you tired and trapped. Let's be clear about the minimum payment trap. It's the bank's favorite tool. On a $3,000 balance at 22%, your minimum payment might be $75. But guess what? Over $50 of that is immediately devoured by interest. Only a tiny fraction, maybe $20, actually goes toward chipping away at the money you borrowed. You're essentially paying for the privilege of being in debt. So how do we slay these dragons? We need a battle plan. It's called the debt snowball. First, you need to face the enemy. Gather every single bill. List all your debts, except for your mortgage, in order from the smallest balance to the largest. Don't look at the interest rates, just the total amount owed. Write it down. Seeing it all on one page is the first step to taking control. Now, the attack begins. You'll continue to make the minimum payments on all your debts to keep them current. But then, you unleash your full financial firepower on the smallest debt on your list. Every single extra dollar you can find goes toward destroying that one debt. Sell stuff you don't need, pick up extra hours, cancel subscriptions, get intense. Once that smallest debt is eliminated, you've won your first battle. Now, you take the entire amount you were paying on that debt, the minimum plus all the extra, and you roll it over, adding it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt. This is the snowball. It starts small, but as it rolls downhill, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and faster. Your payment power grows with each debt you eliminate. Now, some people will argue you should pay the highest interest rate first, the debt avalanche. Mathematically, that saves a bit more money. But personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% math. The debt snowball is about motivation. Those quick wins at the beginning give you the psychological fuel to keep going. It proves you can do this. When you pay off that first small debt, celebrate it. That feeling of victory is powerful. You've done it. Boom. One dragon is slain, and you're ready for the next. You're not just paying off a bill, you're buying back your freedom, one victory at a time. The fourth rule is to use a budget that actually works. A budget isn't punishment, it's a plan for your money. Rich people live on a written monthly budget. Every month. Try 50, 30, 20, or do zero-based. Give every dollar a job before the month begins. Check in weekly. Simple systems beat chaos. Then Rule 5. Automate saving and investing. Don't rely on willpower. Build systems that move money right after payday. Pay yourself first. Set it and forget it. Let the system do the heavy lifting for you. Rule 6. Invest for the long term. Rich people don't just save, they put money to work in growth assets. Compound growth means your earnings earn more earnings. Start small and consistent with broad index or mutual funds, 401k or Roth IRA. Don't time the market, be the tortoise. Rule 7. Diversify your income. Don't rely on one paycheck. Main job, rental property, side business, investment income. Multiple streams protect you. Even a few hundred extra per month can change everything. If one stream dries up, others keep you afloat. Rule 8. Know the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes it out. Buy assets like rentals and dividend stocks. Be cautious of liabilities like expensive car loans. Before big purchases, ask, will this make me money? Rule 9. Keep learning. Read, listen, attend, ask. Financial knowledge is power. Start small. One article or one video each week. The more you learn, the better your decisions. Fear turns into confidence. Rule 10. Have a plan and stick to it. Set clear, written goals for 1, 5, and 10 years. Make them specific and break them into monthly and weekly actions. Review at least once a month. Adjust and keep moving. A living plan guides you to financial peace. Why do these 10 rules work? They build simple, powerful habits. Pick one rule. Do one action this week. Tell someone to hold you accountable. Start your snowball today, then do it again tomorrow. Welcome to the Money Momentum Voice Channel. Your journey to financial peace has begun.